Red Bull's Christian Horner thinks McLaren should have been more transparent with its two Formula One drivers from the start to avoid Oscar Piastri giving the team a major headache. McLaren made waves before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix by announcing it would prioritize Lando Norris's bid for the driver's title. However, Norris had a tough outing in Baku, exiting Q1 early and unable to compete with Piastri, who took the win. Piastri's second F1 victory has kept him as the top point scorer over the last 7 events, and he's closed the gap to 32 points behind his teammate. Norris, though, remains McLaren's best hope for the championship, reducing Max Verstappen's lead to 59 points with a strong fourth-place finish. Horner argues that McLaren has gotten more than it bargained for with Piastri's performance relative to Norris in his second F1 season. "I think Piastri is causing them problems because he's winning races and doing a great job," Horner said. "It's like when Daniel Ricciardo joined us in 2014. He was supposed to be the number 2 to Sebastian Vettel, but he won 3 races that year to Sebastian's none. Sometimes it causes you a major headache like that." Horner expressed surprise that McLaren went public with the news that Norris would get more support in certain situations over his teammate. "Usually those things are handled behind closed doors," he said. "I'm not sure what the rules are. There's still confusion." Meanwhile, Horner said that both Red Bull drivers are clear on their roles, with Sergio Perez knowing he needs to support Verstappen's championship bid. "Every team is different. Our rules of engagement are very clear," he said. "We've got a driver fighting for a world championship. It's a team sport, so it's clear Checo's job is to support Max to the end of the year." He added, "Different teams operate differently. When you've got an asset like Max Verstappen, you don't make him a number 2 driver. Lando Norris, they are paying him 5 times what they pay Oscar, so I assume he's their number 1 driver or biggest asset. So the confusion comes when you're not upfront from the start about your plans." Horner suggested that McLaren should have had more honest discussions with both Norris and Piastri earlier in the season to avoid the problem it now faces. "It becomes a very difficult problem to manage. You split the team and the rules of engagement become very difficult," he explained. "Everybody knows who the number 1 and 2 is, but if you're not upfront with the drivers, you end up with confusion. At the start of the season, it's all open, but when you get to the halfway point, you've got to pick a horse, especially if you're in a championship battle."